What is good, Raider Nation? Is your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right to the topic of this video. The Las Vegas Raiders may just have a chance to draft star quarterback Jayden Daniels in the 2024 NFL Draft, and here is why.
Well, it didn't seem to go over too well with the agent for Jayden Daniels, Ron Butler, who sounded off on social media last night that he didn't seem particularly pleased with the process. I think Jayden Daniels thought it would be a visit with just him, meeting with the Commanders. Many people think that Jayden Daniels will wind up being the number 2 overall pick, but the Commanders essentially opened up the process.
So as you heard, NFL insider Adam Schefter revealed to ESPN that it just doesn't feel like LSU quarterback Jayden Daniels wants to be drafted by the Washington Commanders at number 2. His agent tweeted a couple days ago and essentially revealed that it seems like they were displeased in how the meeting process went with the Washington Commanders prior to the draft. According to reports, the Washington Commanders interviewed 4 different quarterbacks all at once, which is not something very common at all. It's actually pretty frowned upon. And it's just kind of weird, to be honest with you. The 4 prospects they interviewed were Jayden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, and Michael Penix Jr. So if this is true, this could potentially force the Commanders to seriously consider whether or not they should draft Jayden Daniels at number 2. Especially if he's made it clear to them that he's not interested in being selected there. Now, obviously, the Washington Commanders could say screw that and still go ahead and draft them. But at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do with a pick of that magnitude is bring in someone who isn't excited to be the new franchise quarterback of your team. So it's definitely going to be something to consider. Now, to be fair, Adam Schefter did state that it still feels like Jayden Daniels to Washington at 2 will be the move, but there's no doubt that the chances for the Raiders to draft them just got a little bit higher.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
So if you as a Raiders fan are on the train of wanting JD5 to become a Raider, this will be the biggest factor to watch out for come draft night, and that is whether or not he will be selected at 2, because really if the Raiders want to land Jayden Daniels, I think it will be crucial to have him fall outside of the top 2, which then if he falls to 3 or 4, that would give us a great opportunity to move up if the Raiders desire. Especially since the New England Patriots director of scouting, Elliott Wolf, said yesterday that the team is open for business when it comes to trading the number 3 overall pick. He made it clear that the Patriots are willing to move up, move down, they are open for business, and they prioritize building through the draft. So if you offer them a lot of draft picks, it's definitely something I think they will consider. If Jayden Daniels falls to 3, that opens up a huge possibility for the Raiders to move up and trade for him. The Patriots are definitely open to making the trade, but I think it'll just come down to who gives the best trade proposal for the number 3 overall pick. And ultimately, I think it would probably boil down to the Raiders or the Vikings, who definitely have some serious firepower to work with this year in the draft, having the number 11th and 23 overall selection in the first round this year. So if this scenario were to happen, I think the Raiders should get aggressive in trying to secure a talented quarterback like Jayden Daniels to hopefully be our future franchise quarterback. I mean, if we got a guy like Jayden Daniels, you just got to think to yourself, he may very well be the most talented quarterback to ever wear the silver and black. And ultimately, I just think we're in a position where we're eventually going to have to trade for a quarterback, in my opinion, whether that be this year or next year, because I think the Raiders are in a spot where, let's say we move forward with Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. Look, I still see this team being an 8 to potentially 11 win ball club. And if that happens, well, we're going to be in a similar situation. And I don't necessarily see us potentially making a run. We may be a team that just misses the playoffs, or maybe we make the wild card and we get bounced out first round. And if that happens, I mean, we're going to be in the same scenario next year where we're just going to be right outside the top picks for the top quarterback in the draft. And it just seems like it will be an inevitable situation at some point, especially since I don't see the Raiders being bad enough to be a 3-4 win team anytime in the near future. And there's no doubt that it would take a lot to trade for Jayden Daniels. But honestly, if there's a scenario where we could give away like 3 first-round picks and get the deal done and move up, I would definitely do it.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
I mean, even if you give up 3 first-round picks, it's not necessarily 3 first-round picks because we're still going to have a first-round pick this year. We're just moving up 10 spots. But ultimately, I think the Raiders will be in the mix for Jayden Daniels come draft night. And I just think they will be in the mix to try to trade up for either him or potentially a guy like Michael Penix Jr., who ideally, if he falls to us at 13, that would be an ideal situation and scenario for us. But there may be a chance that quarterbacks go off the board early, and if that happens, you may have to trade up a couple spots to secure Penix Jr. Ultimately, I think Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco understand how important it is to secure that quarterback position, and it would be hard not to try and get one of these talented quarterback prospects. Now, ultimately, we'll just end up seeing what happens come draft night. And the good news is the NFL draft is right around the corner. I'm super excited for it. And I'm sure there might be a lot more reports coming out like this throughout the next couple of days. Ultimately, I think where there's smoke, there is fire. I think the Raiders will try to be aggressive and move up for him. But Raider Nation, I definitely want to get your guys' feedback. What do you guys think will happen? Do you think there is a legitimate chance to get Jayden Daniels? Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that's all for you guys in today's video. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.